Welcome to Game Tactical Tuesday. My name is Justin Myers. I am joined by the co-host with the most, Drew Swirsky. Drew, what is good in your world, my friend?
Man, it's weird when everything is good, you get nervous, right? Everything, gas mileage is good. No traffic this morning. My drinks taste better. Life is good. My kids are happy. So yeah, I'm all over the place.
I love it.
I
So
love
we are
that.
talking about social media, right? And so in honor of social media, in honor of the queen of IG, jump on camera. Let's see your smiling faces. Show up authentically. We know you're not ready for it. That's okay. The whole world
That's
gets to see
okay.
you in your mom clothes in the pickup line, and then your sweats get Smoothie King. Like you're not fooling nobody. Show up, jump on camera. We want to see your faces. Be engaged. Pop
I
in, tell
see
us where you're from.
I
Lauren
see some
Hammond,
people.
what is good in your world?
What is going on? Thank you for having me.
All right. Can I give you a quick intro? Can I
Please.
hype you up? All right. Lauren Hammond, is a member. If you haven't joined, we are part of the Cosmic Group. We've got an affiliation with Drew. We're all in this thing called GAIN. It is our virtual brokerage, global agent investment network. But Lauren is a leader in the Cosmic Group. So she came in. Lauren, is this your third or your fourth year in the business now?
We're at 4.5.
4.5. Lauren came in. Her second year, started having tremendous success in real estate. My girl did over 200K in GCI, stepped up, runs our main hub team that produces over 1 million in GCI, relocated down to Richmond. So she's actually running this team in Reston, Virginia from Richmond. How far away is that for people that aren't in Virginia, Lauren?
An hour and a half.
An hour and a half. So running two operations, right? And did it all without picking up the phone, without cold calling expires. Did you door knock, Lauren?
No,
No. Look at that laughter.
wouldn't catch
No,
me
baby.
dead.
She did it on the gram. She did
Did
it
it
on the
all.
gram. And so, right, we're going to talk about how to master social media to build your real estate business with somebody who has the stake and not just the sizzle, right? Who is
Mhm.
a real top producer, who is a leader, who I've seen grow. And Lauren had this amazing quote, right? She said, "The success of the next day starts the night before," right? Success leaves clues. There's a reason why she's having the success she has. She's built some systems and practices. But we're going to talk about how to master social media. But if you want to ask Lauren questions about leadership, highly recommend you connect with her. We talk about leadership all the time. She is a great leader. She's a great agent, and it has been such an exciting journey to see her grow. I'm sure Drew is going to have some great questions for you. I'm excited to let Drew. I'm going to you ask some questions, Drew, because I know Lauren very well, so you can ask all the stuff you don't want to know. Lauren, you ready to kick us off?
I'm ready.
You ready? Chat. I want to know? Drop in the comments. What's your biggest question on social media? You're not going to distract Lauren. You can
Mm,
ask a million questions. We can be going off in there. Me and Drew are here in
yeah.
front of computers. What's your biggest question about the gram? We can go deep, and we're going to get an idea of where is everybody at. Probably Lauren. You want to start with like kind of where is
Yeah.
everybody? Are we brand new? Are we social media experts? Are you trying to like hack the algorithm? Do you even know what the algorithm is?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that. I would love to get an idea of like the room and, who's active on social and who maybe is just getting their feet wet, getting going. Drop it in the chat. I'll be taking a look. I see some comments coming through. Um, and yeah, I see some comments. I love it. So should I introduce myself again? I think you did it. Drew.
You are all in. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Don't say that. No, I'm kidding. Guys, thank you for having me. Again, my name is Lauren. I am 26 years old, been in the business for 4 years, and social media is my one thing. When I got in the business, I was fresh out of college. I graduated during COVID in 2020. Like, I was just like, I'm gonna try this real estate thing because I just didn't want to sit at a desk all day long. I had no idea what this incredible entrepreneurial journey that real estate gives us would be for me. And really my journey through it has been documented on and really like learned through social media. So social media has been my teacher, my journal, my diary, and my lead generation source. So everyone, I got in the business, and who here was told, pick up the phone and call everybody you know and tell them you're in real estate? Give me a little show of hands, a little, yeah, I'm seeing lots of hands. How many of you guys did that? Some folks. Okay. For the most of us, we're like, what? Pick up the phone and call everyone we know? That's a weird feeling. What am I going to say? What if they don't answer? What if they hang up on me? Right? So I did. I will be honest. When I got in, I was like, okay, call everyone I know. So I did. I tried a little cold calling, like 2 weeks. And then I was like, oh God, every day I woke up and I thought, I just can't do this again. Right? I did not door knock. I open housed pretty hard for a while. And then I was like, oh, this just isn't me. This just doesn't feel right. So I started getting online, which I'm 26. So I've been online since I was like, I don't know, 11 or something ridiculous. And it felt pretty second nature to me. And what I realized was I had a very specific job to fulfill for my sphere of influence online. Hear me now. I am not going to teach you how to go viral today. That is not my intention online. That is not who I'm speaking to every day. I'm speaking directly to my sphere of influence of, 20, I'm 26 now, but really like 22-year-olds to 35-year-olds who follow me online. That is who I'm talking to every day. Whoever's doing the view thing, can you put me back so I can see everyone? I like to see all the faces. This is just me really zoomed in. Thank you. So the first point that I want everyone to kind of take away from this is that you are talking to your sphere. How you talk to them, what you talk to them about, and how often you talk to them is frankly up to you. Right? There is no like some guru here, there, and everywhere is going to tell you post 6 stories a day and 3. Listen, just cut the noise. All right. Show up and talk to your sphere the way you want to talk to them. Because when you get online, what you're ultimately building is a brand. And one of my favorite ways to define a brand is actually from none other than Ryan Serhant. He says, a brand is just a fancy way of saying your reputation. Take that in. Your brand is just a fancy way of saying your reputation. So if we plug these two ideas together, showing up online the way you want to, sharing what you want to with who you want to share it with is building your brand, right? These two ideas connect. And this is where most people get lost. They're like, well, I'm supposed to be this, and I heard someone say that. I just don't subscribe to the noise about what everyone else thinks I should be doing online. I'm doing just this. So 22 years old, got in the business. I just started talking to first-time homebuyers. Those are my people, those who I was talking to. And I decided that I was going to be the mayor of my people, meaning they would come to me with any first-time homebuyer question, morning, noon, or night, and I would answer it for them or find the answer for them. And then I would share the answer with the masses. Because if one person has the question, so does 50,000 other people, right? And if you can become the ultimate source of fact and truth for your people, what do you start to build? Trust.
And influence.
And influence. And by the way, a reputation, right? Your brand. You're building a brand that you're a trustworthy person that has knowledge, that is deeply in tune with your craft. Let me say this, Justin, I see you have a question loading. Let me say this one point. Don't let yourself get like, oh God, Lauren, that was like so much, deeply in tune with my craft. Guys, remember that the average Joe Schmo does not do this all day. that they often need to be reminded, like literally 3 times a week, that you don't have to put 20% down to buy a house. That's the kind of knowledge that I'm bombing on my people all day long. And I still have people call me like, I want to buy a house, but I need 20%. And I'm like, hold on, fear none, right? You don't have to. I've been saying that. And here's an example of 10 other first-time home buyers I've helped that put 3% down or 0, right? So in our minds, we complicate it, but remember what we do every day is foreign to everyone else online. And if you share, like pretend you're teaching 101, real estate 101, what are the facts that you would just spit? You didn't have to be in the business for a week to know you don't have to put 20% down on a house, right? So your tenure and the, depth of the information you're sharing, frankly, doesn't matter. It's just that you're sharing it. Okay, I just went in kind of deep there. Justin, Drew, pull me out. Give me a question. How can I?
I want to set you up, Drew, but I had a conversation with my buddy Jeff Van Nostrum. Jeff is an expert. If you need new construction lending, private lending, that's all he did during COVID. He did 325 deals, right? Over at Momentum, 325 deals. He got burned out because he said, just imagine it's always the same question. It is always just put 20% down. It is always hard inquiries versus soft inquiries. It is always the most basic things. And so I love that. Yeah. Like beginner. Drew, I don't know about you, but I'm 19 years into this game in every facet, and I am still having the same basic conversation again and again. So, Drew, do you want to summarize what you just heard from Lauren and wrap it up, put a bow on it?
Yeah. The one thing that I love is trust, right? I'm a big proponent, and I've been saying this to my agents for 10 years now. When trust goes up, fear goes down. Right? When trust goes up, fear goes down. And if those people can trust you, and what I love what you said was, not only did I tell them that they don't have to put 20% down, but I gave them 3 examples of how it worked, right? So that you earn their trust by not just by saying, all of us can just say, but you're showing, right? And that's what people need to you when you want to earn trust is show them the way. People want to be led, and you are leading them by example, not just by words, and that will gain their trust faster. So I love that.
Well, and what I love, Lauren, is you talked to, and think that speaks perfect. I love that, Drew. Lauren popped in the comments immediately. Familiarity breeds trust. When people see you repeatedly, they instinctively begin to trust you more, right? It's just how we are socialized, right? We are social animals. When we see somebody in the tribe again and again, the guy at the dog park, you feel safe around. We see him a bunch of times. That never happens, right? And so social is a way to do that. It's why realtors put their face on everything because it freaking works. People call Mark Spain, people call Jeff Glover, people call these big agents off these listing billboards. But social is a way to do that. Lauren, maybe the way to do it would be a question I want to ask everybody is how many of you are having two-way conversations on social? Because what Lauren did that's different than a lot of people is she's used social as a way to have conversations with her people, not to like, I'm going to go, right? Do all of the videos and do all of the branding and right.
Yeah.
Do all the home tours.
This is the perfect segue. So I've got to start this conversation by training your mind to know why are you doing it and what are you doing. Now let me get tactical with you. I have done almost $12 million in real estate sales from the DMs. I'm not kidding you. I paid no money. I'm going to share with you guys my secret DM. It's not a secret. I share it with everyone. And I want you to know that this just came straight out of my noodle. Okay. I just made this up. It wasn't from a guru. I just made it up. I'm going to put it in the chat and I'm going to explain to you what it is. First, let me tell you, this DM lives in my notes. I'm literally pulling up my notes section on my Mac and I'm copying and pasting it. This is exactly what I do every single day when I lead generate. This DM, along with a couple others, and I'll share them with you. So here it is. Hi, and there's a space because you're going to put their name. This is personal. Thanks for following along with my page. It means a lot. If you ever need anything real estate related or have a question, don't hesitate to reach out. And then do you see where it says, insert something personal here? Let's talk about that. The beginning of this bad boy is a sales DM. No one likes a sales DM. Come on, y'all. We've all had that. Hey, girl, I think you're so pretty. You should totally join our, right? We've seen those. No one likes that. No one's answering that.
No one's called me pretty online, Lauren.
Well, Drew, I'm going to slide in your DMs.
Thank you.
Drew, there's a reason why no one's called you pretty.
That's true.
Y'all be nice to my guy, Drew. Insert something personal here. Listen, y'all. When you look at someone online, a friend you've known for a long time, an acquaintance that you've like gone to high school, college, life through, but you haven't talked to them in a while, or just some random who decides to follow your page, when you decide that that person is not a real estate transaction, but they are your friend and you are going to make them be your friend, your mindset and how you approach social media absolutely changes. Okay? I love teaching. This gives me energy. So what I decided to be online was the friend to all the people, whether they knew they needed me as a friend or not, that was going to teach them how to buy their first freaking house and build wealth. That is who I am. So anytime someone new follows me, I send them this DM. And in that little bracket that says insert something personal here, I look at their profile and I pull something personal about them or something we have in common into the message. And I end the message with a question. Don't skip that part. Don't skip the question. So maybe it's something like, oh my gosh, I see we have mutual followers from Christopher Newport, which is where I went to college. When did you graduate? Oh my gosh, I just saw you got engaged. Congratulations. Have you guys started planning the wedding yet? Oh my God, I see you got a puppy. I love a puppy. What is his or her name? What I just did was I salesed them and then I backed into rapport. And let me tell you something. You're all going to go, that is weird. That is uncomfortable. And let me tell you what it was. And sometimes I do, I'm like, oh, I like don't want to click send for some reason. Why? Because my brain has all these other stupid things going on in it. It doesn't matter. When you end it with a question about them, you have just opened the door for someone to become your friend. We love to talk about ourselves as humans. We do. And when someone random flatters you enough to take a minute to look at your stuff or congratulate you on your engagement or we have mutual friends, the guard is down. The wall is boink. And I am now just your friend. So what I'm doing here is I'm building rapport. And here's the other tactical piece of this. Don't skip this piece. That human being that I just had a two-way interaction with on social media goes from my Instagram DMs into my database, my CRM. 99% of the time, this person does not have an email and does not have a phone number. But guess what? I'm making a friend. I'm not salesing them. If I was salesing them, I would have been like, what's your email? I'm going to put you on my 36 touch. No one wants that. No one wants that. They want to be your friend. So I put them in my database. I record the conversation that we had, and I set myself a task to follow up based on the conversation we had. Hear me now. This is something you personally do. This is not always something you can outsource to an EA or a VA. This requires your brain, your mind, your fingers doing the thing. Now, inputting into the database can be outsourced, but it's a personal connection. Okay?
Your mom can't make friends for you.
Listen, your mom can bring you a lot of real estate deals. My mama does. Y'all know?
Yep.
I know. But she can't make friends for you. So don't skip the piece of adding the task in your database to follow up with them about what you guys talked about. So you talk about seeing you, whatever, and I'll set a task. I'm like, follow up in 6 months. I don't know. For what reason? I'm not sure yet. I'm going to make it up. When that 6-month mark comes, I'm going to make it up. Now, 99% of the time, people see me and they're like, oh, she's a real estate agent. Oh, real estate. So they're going to say something real estate related in our conversation at some point. It's natural. So a lot of times my follow-up is based on that. So if they're like, oh, we're really thinking about buying a house. We're in a lease. We just re-signed in Arlington. I'm like, no problem. That's amazing. How do you like it? In my database, in 3 months, set a task to follow up. Maybe they're going to buy a house next year. Their lease is up in 9 months. So I text them, hey, oh my God, or DM, girl, has your lease going? I know rentals turn over fast. You guys thinking about staying for another year, even thinking about it yet? And then be like, oh, I don't know. I'm building a relationship. Okay. So don't skip the database input piece or you're losing. All right. Make a friend, slide in their DMs. Everyone who follows me, everyone. And then, by the way, I started this after I started my page. So for a lot of us, we have an established page. Go back and send it to everyone that follows you. Don't forget about them. They're important, right? And I did that. And that's where I built a lot of two-way conversations that have turned into real estate transactions. All right, that was a
Drew had
lot.
a great comment about what you just said.
I always believe a personal connection requires personal work, right? It can't be done through AI. It can't be done through your whatever smart plans or anything you have. You have to do some personal work, right? And that was just, you dropped the bomb right there. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
So go ahead.
no, we had some questions when we first got
Okay.
started. Okay. And I think we've covered some of them. So there was a couple, there was some people that were brand new. So someone asked where to get started. And I think, we talked about, I think we might have covered that. Cherie asked, what topics do we talk about? And I think we
Yeah.
can get some specific, but if we talked, you were very specific of start with the basics. Find that
Yeah.
avatar and ask them questions and answer their questions in real time and just make yourself the voice of that person that has questions. And then someone asks, how do I make my posts interesting? Which I thought was kind of a really intriguing. That's a great question to maybe hit for a second.
Yeah.
So how do you make your posts interesting, Lauren?
So interesting is a subjective word. What is
Yeah.
interesting to you? So I didn't do this in the beginning of the class, but I want everyone to go on Instagram and open up my profile. My name on Instagram is Home with Lauren. The avatar of me is like, I'm wearing like a black and white blazer, black background, blonde hair. You can't miss me. Open up my Instagram and click, on the story. Everyone knows where the story is, where it's like the little circle on my picture. Click that and just do yourself a favor and like click through my last couple of stories in like the last 24 hours, because that's how long they last. I'll give everyone a hot second to do that. But my follow-up question is going to be, when you consume that media of me, what do you see? Or what did you learn?
You have a cat.
Thank you. Love that. Yes.
Showing up,
Showing up. Yeah.
right?
You talk
Ooh.
about different things. You
I'm
have the
talking
color palette. You're talking about today's session. Oh, cute picture.
Go with that green.
It's not all real estate related, and that's what I always struggle with. Does it need to be real estate related?
Yes.
And Sue's who asked the question. So thank you, Sue. Yeah, let's have a conversation. No, please
Sue.
unmute. Like this is
Yeah,
we're
please.
here to help you. If you're brave enough to actually participate, you get the attention, you get the reward because you showed up. And most people just don't show up. We know
Yeah.
that. Pareto's principle. So Sue, do you said it's not real estate related. So what are the things, like who are you? What are you
Well,
into? Let's be
okay, all right.
friends.
And I do that on my personal Instagram page, but that's different from my page with my team. My other team member is here. So I struggle with what is too personal and what is not. Not too
All right,
personal, that's not the right word. What is too much about
Ooh.
me, like a new grandbaby, versus this is the house I'm holding open this Sunday.
Lauren, what do
So
you think? Pillars,
let's talk about pillars. Okay. So we are human beings. We right? We are realtors by choice. And I personally believe that a mixture of who you are as a human being and who you show up as an agent is what creates your brand, what creates your reputation. Okay. So if you just had a grandbaby and you want to share with the world that that's who you are, your grandma, Maybe it's your first grandbaby, maybe it's your third grandbaby, I don't know. But you want to tell the story of who you are as a human being. Your social media profiles are created for that. Hear me out. Everyone likes to look at houses, but does everyone really like to look at your open house flyer? I'm gonna go with no. But people really like to see a cute baby. Man, don't people like a cute baby? And you know what people really love? A beautiful house. So I love the idea of sharing both, but I want you to think about sharing them in a different way. So share the baby. Easy to share a baby. I'm an aunt. Y'all, you'll see my nephew on there all the time. He is the cutest things on sliced bread. He lives in Northern Virginia, so I like virtually squeeze his cheeks through FaceTime. It's like my favorite thing. Okay. And I share that. Like, that's who I am. It's part of me. And then when I hold an open house, I am sharing that I'm holding an open house, but I'm also sharing a picture of the kitchen or the beautiful living room or the brand new renovated bathroom. And I'm saying to my folks, what do you think about this bathroom? And then I'll use the buttons. These are my favorite things in this whole wide world on social media, is the interactive buttons that are on Facebook and Instagram. There's polls, there's quizzes, there's questions, which is just like a box where you can type in. And what you want to do is you want to create a space where your content creates conversation. So share the baby and say, anyone else have a grandbaby? Anyone else just have their first grandbaby? And put these interactive stickers on your social media. If you don't know how to use them, Google it. There's 1,001 YouTube videos. I'm just teaching my VA or my EA how to use them, and I'm just leveraging the millions of videos already made. And what that does is that creates a space for people to, again, talk about themselves and talk about something that they are excited about. Oh my gosh, I'm a grandma too. Mine's 3 years old. How old's yours? You're creating relationship. You're making a friend. Okay. Same with your open house. What do you think about this? What do you think about this kitchen? And you put the little poll thing on there, which if you're looking at my social media, I used it this morning. You see this thing that says, oh God bless it. You see this thing that says thoughts, and then there's two choices. This is called a poll. Every one of us that has Instagram has the ability to use this button. And when you give, again, people the opportunity to share their opinion about a pretty house, you're the queen. People want to share people want to see pretty houses that they can't afford to buy, or that they maybe aren't even thinking about buying. But what you're doing is you're building the reputation of, here's something that I do personally. So someone earlier was like, you have a cat. You'll see pictures of my cat all the time. She's one of my pillars. She's something that I'm just consistently sharing with my people online. So they build the reputation around me of, Lauren has a cat and she loves her cat. I'm a cat lady, right? It means nothing. It makes me no money, but it builds a relationship, builds like people know who I am outside of being a realtor, right? And then I'm sharing I just showed this house today. What do you think? And that's connecting real estate. And I'm asking for people's opinions. After people give me their opinion about, here's the next most important step. This is the tactical piece. Don't skip it. After people give me their opinion about something as silly as, my poll this morning was, should I paint my closet purple, green, and add wallpaper? Should I do a pop of color? 11 people have told me I should do it. Do it, queen. 11 people. I am going to message all 11 of these people. And some of them, they're my friends that we've built relationships because I've been doing this online a lot. Some of them, like that girl, I have no idea who she is. She must be a new follower that I either haven't interacted with or she didn't answer my initial message. But now she's voting on my poll. So I'm like, you think I should? What color should I paint it? I'm just making friends. Okay. So I'm using those interactive buttons to drive people to giving me their opinion, and I'm following up. Let me give you a tactical example of this. I posted a story with a picture of a house in Berryville, Virginia. For those of you who aren't from Northern Virginia, this is just west of Loudoun County, okay? Much different price point. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the boonies. And it's like not, it's like 3 seconds from Percival, right? Whatever. So I post a picture and I'm like, would you ever move west of Loudoun County? And I put a poll And it was like, yeah, I would, or like, heck no, girl, that's the boonies. Everyone who answered, I DM. One girl I answered, I'm like, hey Pam, it's Lauren. It's been forever. I saw your vote on my poll. I saw your vote on my poll. Those are your words when you're like, how do I slide in their DMs? I saw your vote on my poll. And about going west. Are you thinking about moving? No, Lauren. I can literally remember them off the dome because I've quoted it so many times. No, Lauren, I'm not for the foreseeable future, but maybe down the road, I'll think about it. Like, awesome. How have you been? It's been forever. We went to high school together. 3 months later, she sends me this big, long DM like this big. And she's like, Lauren, my parents are getting divorced. It's ugly. It's terrifying. My mom told me to hire the agent because she's just so distraught. I thought of you first. Can you help me? Can you help my parents sell this house? They just need to be done and get over with. And I just trust you. Guys, she voted on my poll. And the 3 or 4 messages that we exchanged, and then her following me, built enough trust that in a moment where their family was going through something incredibly hard, she called me. It like makes me cry. She thought of me. She trusted me. They left me 5-star reviews and the whole 9 yards. Like, that's the kind of thing that, like, that's the personal piece. That's what I do this for, right? So you not showing up in your people's DMs is actually doing them a disservice. They need you in these moments of their life, but they don't know you're there unless you're there. If you are ballsy enough to be there, they will show up for you. And that's what I've learned through this journey of being online.
So real fast, because we're having in real time here, right? A two-way conversation. So because you jumped in the DMs, you see how this works, Sue, right? We asked the question, and if you can unmute real fast, like, yeah, what's your takeaway, Sue? I mean, you clearly like have you've been in the business for a while. You got a team. How long have you been in the business for?
11 years.
Awesome. So, and then just for a rough idea, what does your business look like? You know, I don't know where you're from. Like some people have like tons of transactions. Some people have lower transactions with high volume. What does it look like for you?
Montgomery County, not real high homes, but nice size homes.
Yeah.
My partner brought me into the business. She's been in it for 20 years and talked me into it. And I actually didn't know how to DM on Instagram, and I just sent Lauren a DM to see if I could do it, to thank her for
I love
the
it.
class.
I love that.
Oh, I love it. But does this make sense? That kind of
Yes.
answer your question?
Yes, it really
Okay.
does. Thank you. Thank you.
I
You're
think
welcome.
Cherie had her hand up for a while. It just,
She did.
okay.
Oh,
Sorry, Sheree.
I did, but then Lauren kind of answered some of the question, but I'll ask it. Actually, I had 2 questions. The first is going back to saying the same information over and over again, like the 20%, you don't need 20% down or things like that. I was wondering how you like reframe that information so that for the people who are following you continuously, you're not like saying the exact same sentences over again. But I think I kind of know, but I'd love to hear that comment or that.
I'm not.
You're not.
Just saying it the same way again and again. And most people appreciate the consistent message.
Love it. My second thing is just from the real estate point of view, what's the wildest DM you ever received?
Oh, wildest DM I've ever received. I don't know that one sticks out, but I'll tell you this. I sent my hi, thanks for following along, that message that I sent everyone to someone that I dated in high school, guys, like, so like sophomore year of high school, like we're talking about like baby love, not even love, like whatever that is. Okay. I was like nervous. I'm like 26 years old, nervous. I'm like, oh my God, he's my ex. Like, no, he's not, right? We've moved along. Life has evolved. I send it to him after I get over myself in my head. Not only did I sell him a house, but then I sold him, his parents, another house and sold their house. That one DM was like a $2.5 million volume for those 3 transactions. So because I got over myself for this person that like, right, like we have all these like things in our mind, like, oh my God, like, but you know, and we could all probably relate to something. Maybe it's someone, a friend or someone you haven't talked to, or maybe you had like left on a weird note and you're like, but but you just never know where it's going to lead. And like, obviously this particular person, we've grown up, like we've dated other people. It doesn't matter, right? Sophomore year of high school, lovers don't matter anymore. But I tell the story because the like fear of like rejection was very real for me. And because I got over it, I then had 3 very successful transactions. And let me make one more point, because a lot of times people say, well, Lauren, if I just talk to first-time homebuyers, then I'm only going to get first-time homebuyer business. But that's not true. That has not been my experience. My experience has been when I pour into my sphere and I build trust with them, they then trust me enough to now refer me. And like in that instance, he referred me after our homebuyer consultation. He's like, my parents are selling their house and like, I'm so impressed by what you just did. Like, I want you to call them. Here's my mom's number. And I did. And I've sold grandparents' houses. I've sold parents' houses. I've sold aunts and uncles' houses for people that I've never even transacted with, because they see me and then they trust me. And now they're saying like, and I'm deeply flattered and grateful for that. So showing up is, you know, even though you're saying maybe a consistent message to one avatar, that avatar is taking it and building it as trust. And then they're going to refer you to their people, right? And that's ultimately what we're after, right? To make a business that moves without us having to do so much. Good question.
So there's some questions in the chat, Lauren,
Yeah.
you know. And I would say one of my favorite things that I love is Lauren explicitly explained. I remember this so vividly on her story. She was like, hey guys, do you know why I share this all the time on my story? It's because I want you to see that it's possible. Like, and she tells the people why she's doing the thing that she's doing. And so there's a couple of different questions here. There's a question about Facebook versus do you have a business page or a personal page?
Facebook, I just have a personal page.
Yeah.
Instagram, I do have 2, but I would tell myself, like if I could go back now, I would say just keep the one. But here's the deal.
Yeah.
What's going to be less friction for you in your mind? Is it, you know, just whatever you're going to show up on, do that, and it'll evolve.
Yep. And then Jamie asked, how many platforms do you juggle?
Ooh, this is a great question. 1, Instagram. That's it. Instagram talks to Facebook. So 2, but by automation. I'm a Gen Zer, but I don't TikTok. I kind of hate TikTok, really. And I tried to juggle like posting the same thing everywhere with the same caption. Frankly, y'all, it took way too much of my time. Just like the formatting's all different. Whatever. Just cut the noise.
And everybody that follows you on Instagram would be the same people following you on TikTok anyway.
Sure. Some people say it would reach a wider audience, but remember, my goal isn't to go viral. My goal is actually to just pour into my peeps. And I feel like Instagram gives me the space to pour in the way I want to, showing up on stories, having those interactive polls, all of that.
So that's a great, you know what is I'm going to just jump in and just tactically, right, talk about this, because this is where like I have been active on social, running high level social campaigns for Detroit for 15 years, ad funnels, things like this. Like I've seen it grow. And so is your goal to build an audience, or is your goal to communicate to your audience? Those are 2 very different things. What Lauren is doing is a very natural, I'm using social media to engage my sphere. It is 21st century networking, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm DMing, I'm having the same sort of conversations. This is just kind of classic business. If my goal is to just go build an audience and run like a lead gen funnel and like, you know, and I'm going to use TikTok or something instead of running like ads or billboards or golden letters, or does that make sense, y'all? Like it's a different sort of conversation. But if you don't have the bottom of the funnel, if you don't know how to actually engage the people, what's the point of building the whole machine? That makes sense, y'all? Like and having all the followers and all the sizzle and not having any conversion. Because what I heard from you, Lauren, is by doing that and having all of those conversations, you mastered your craft to the point where when you had a buyer conversation with that person in your life before. He was so impressed by your mastery that he felt compelled to refer you because you were
Exactly.
so good at having those conversations. That makes sense to everyone on the call. Nod, say, right? Natural. Scott has a question, but Kim had a question. I'll go right to you, Scott. Kim's question was, what would be the first post? What does your first post look like if you never posted on social?
What was it or what would it be?
What would it be? What should Kim's first, what should your first post be?
Oh, personality post. Show me who you are and tell me what you do. Quick, brief, don't think too much about it. Don't filter it a million times. If it's you and your dog, throw it on there. Tell me what you do in the caption. If it's a reel of you like wealth BFFing all day long, do it. If that's what touches you. Here's the deal. Everyone's always like, well, I don't know what to do or what it should look like. When you consume media, what do you like? Now regurgitate it. If you like when people show you them walking down the street and then there's words on the reel and the reel like loops every 5 seconds, if you like that, make that. That's right. So intro would be because you're sharing your personality through the style of post as well. So don't get too worried about getting all buttoned up. Be yourself is what I would say. Show up the way you want to
All
be
right.
received.
Scott, you had a
So
question?
Scott,
Yeah, Lauren, great concepts you're sharing. I looked at your Instagram page and followed you, so I'll expect the DM within 12 hours.
Wow.
But looking at your posts,
Uh-huh.
it seems like you're not posting, even multiple times a week. I'm presuming you're doing stories and doing lots of stories every day because the algorithm tends to reward that. Am I reading your account correctly?
Here's what I'll tell you, honestly. I don't post as much as I should because I don't time block it. Because I still have a problem with like, Lauren can do everything. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like, I can do it better than everyone. So why would I let my EA post for me? No way. Oh my gosh, right? Like, so I show up on stories most because it's easy. It's like, here's a snap of what's going on in my day right now. And I love that aspect of a story. It's just consistent and it goes away in 24 hours. Now, showing up on a post means thinking about the post. What time am I going to post it? What's the caption going to be? And I get lost in the sauce. Even as someone who's done a lot of business from social, I still get lost in that sauce myself. So you don't see a lot of consistency from me this year because I've been gratefully so damn busy with business that it's like the last thing on my list because I don't schedule it and I haven't leveraged it off the actual posting. So that's a journey I'm going on too right now. Good question. And good. I'm glad you said that.
a couple more questions. We can do the speed. So it is running up on 9:15. Want to thank everyone for your time. Thank everyone for being here on Game Tactical Tuesday and for joining us. If you need to jump off and go conquer your day and take territory, you can jump. Lauren, Drew, do y'all have 5 minutes? You want to do a little
Yeah.
post cap wrap up?
Yeah, I have
Do you have 5 minutes?
one more thing to say to the
Please.
group. Guys, first of all, thank you for being here. You just showing up like really just gives me so much energy and I have a lot of gratitude. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have questions about social. I'd be happy to answer them. And also remember that you're taking your social media followers, whether that's a group of 10 people or 10,000, on a journey. And you're sharing with them your personal journey of you in this business. Be authentic, share the wins and the losses, share the good and the bad, and make sure that you're making a friend of the people who are consistently showing up and following you and interacting with your page because they're asking for you to be in their life. Okay, so take your peeps on your journey and it's super fun and they really buy in, whether they buy with you or not. They're going to buy into your journey and that's super rewarding.
I love that. You want to speed round some questions really fast? Super
Yeah.
fast, super short answers. Awesome. So, can you explain the difference between reels and stories in terms of like audience?
Reels are posts that stay there forever and they can be syndicated out farther, kind of like a TikTok. Stories just stay on your personal thing for 24 hours.
and reels, stories are going to show to your existing followers.
Yeah.
Reels are in the algorithm are presented to new people.
Yes.
So that's going to be the
Good
difference,
point.
right? Stories,
Yep.
I'm communicating with my people, and reels are going to be exposed. Like the algorithm is serving those up to a novel audience.
Yes.
So that's why you would need to do those and get some exposure. Awesome. So there was another one I saw real fast here. How much time are you spending like DMing people on a like daily basis?
It's my lead gen. So generally at least an hour. And then people respond throughout the day. So that's the other thing too, is like sign yourself up for a little in the morning and a little in the afternoon so you can catch up. That's kind of what I've been doing.
Awesome. Love that. If you want a copy of Lauren's secret DM, here's a sick hack. If you're a lazy realtor, just DM her. Home with Lauren,
Yes.
right? And then you've got some engagement. I promise Lauren will engage with you. Like we're social. I love that. And then the other one Corey asked was, what is your system around follow-up and engagement? And I think the first part of that was what you had talked about is I use my secret DM and then I set a reminder I put it into my database to set a reminder in my CRM, my contact relationship manager. So we all have one of those if we're in real estate, like to follow up with that person. Hey, go look at Drew's page.
Yeah.
And ask him a question in a week. Is that basically what it is, Lauren? But then do you have a plan after that? Like a more.
Well, like I said, most times people really like, at this point, they really know like Lauren Realtor. So the chances of a real estate related, point or sentence or conversation coming up in our DM exchange is pretty high. So most of the time I'm following up on the real estate related piece. Now, I also do things like first-time homebuyer seminars, and I'm adding value to add to, if I'm just going to cold slide into someone's DMs, it's going to be with value, right? So, hey, I'm having this first-time homebuyer seminar with my lender partner. I know you're renting right now in Arlington. No worries. I just thought I'd shoot it your way, just in case you're thinking about it. And then I'll be like, you think you can make it? And they respond like, oh, I'm not ready yet, or whatever, right? Like, so it's I don't know if there's a real good system to that that I could like articulate yet, except kind of what I'm saying. I hope it's landing too. I hope I'm not losing people.
I just have a question. I'm trying to remember back. Are you tracking what the conversation is about with your CRM? So do you copy and paste, or do you just put notes in there and say, Drew asked me about purple closet?
Yeah, pretty much. A lot of times notes do me fine because I can just go back in the DMs if I'm like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, notes. Sometimes I copy and paste.
And it'll help you with the follow-up, making it more authentic if you know what they were interested in or what you guys talked about, right?
Exactly.
Ooh. Drew, I want to tag on this. Here's something I promise you. If you have like an intake and you take detailed notes, no one has ever been offended by the fact that like I took detailed notes and I wrote down the name of their dog and what their anniversary was and all this information. And then I put it into a database and I went and looked at it before I talked to them.
Yeah.
Anyone knows me, I'm very good at making authentic connections. People are not offended that like I had a system for that. You know what I mean?
Feel seen.
Yes.
I think we're all
Like,
after that as humans, a little more authenticity from each other, feeling seen. So it's mini.
Corey says, do they live in the CRM with just their IG username?
Yes.
Well, I guess you put their whole name in there, Corey. Like if you had it.
I put their name and then I'll tag their profile.
Well, yes, for sure.
CRM.
Sorry, just to clarify there. No, I would imagine you put in Joe Smith, right? But like, if there's no other contact info, are you just putting their Instagram handle like in your CRM as your spot to go back to connect with them, right? Like that's kind of what I was looking for clarity around, because otherwise, if you don't have say a phone number and an email, they just live in the database as, I don't know, just trying to make up a silly username, but you get my point. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
And listen,
Cool.
my goal is to eventually get their Instagram, their like phone
course.
number and email, right? Which is
But
why
the-
they live in the database. I'm not going to forget about them. I will
No,
forget
that's cool.
about
But they
them.
just at least start off as a,
Yeah.
Joe Smith's Instagram like
Yeah.
handle, and then you just build the brick from there.
Exactly.
because you need
Heard.
a system to add the follow-up.
Yeah.
So it could be anything. It could be Joe IG, as long as I have a way
Something to
to
go off of.
remind myself to go back and because this Corey Hoffman was like, I have no idea how to find this person again. In my freaking
Yeah.
phone, I didn't put any notes in their contacts, so I have no idea
Mhm.
all the time, dude. Yeah.
That's cool.
No, I
All
love
right.
that. Separate column in the spreadsheet, says Ryan. I love that. So Lauren, thank you for making this simple
Mhm.
and for demystifying this for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Anybody feel better about social media after this conversation? Anybody feel a little relief? I see Cherie's like, yeah, like that
Yeah,
you can
she
do
did a
this.
great job as always.
Yeah, I love it. Michaela says yes. Do you do some deeper research and see if they have a website, get their email from there and others info about the people in the Instagram? No, because like if they want to engage, they'll engage. Right.
I'm just also, listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I move at the speed of light. I'm looking for my next thing. I don't have time. Like, I'm going to find out their information one way or another. It might take me 6 months, but I don't care. Right. Like, I'm just going to keep rolling with it. Now, for our folks who are a lot more like ops minded, maybe you do some deeper research, but that's just not my personality.
Oh, can I share a story from being an ISA?
Yeah.
I was an ISA for a team that has sold over 3,000 homes and like foreclosed homes. Like they had all of the business for Fannie, Freddie, and HUD for Hillsborough County and Tampa and the 4 surrounding counties. So I had a 10,000 person database. I started this when I was 2016, deep into the business. I got out. And when I got back in, I got a job as an ISA because I don't really care. I said jobs. I'll do whatever to make a buck. So anyways, what I found was we had these leads that would come in like from Zillow and they keep, oh, this is a great lead. It's a Zillow lead and the algorithm worked. We're going to track them off of Facebook. So I could see their Facebook profile. I could see the exact house they looked at. I can go look at the neighborhood. I would feel so prepared for that phone call. So when they answer, I'm going to sound like I'm the neighborhood expert. Okay. And if I got them on the phone, it did work really great. We also had a triple line dialer. I don't know if y'all have ever used this. We had a dialer that would call 3 lines at the same time. You have to have like a recording that like is like when they call you back, like is, oh, I can't hear you. Like, can I call you? So anyways, what I found was when I used the triple line dialer and I called 100 people in an hour and was totally unprepared and had to scramble and just like look it up while I was on the phone, I crushed being hyper prepared for those other conversations because I was wasting all this time getting prepared for people that were never going to pick up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Like context crushed preparation. It's not even close, but I had to like see it and experience it for myself. And so like doing a lot of research for people that may never engage with you, like if they want you to have their email, they will give you their email.
Totally. And trust
Like,
me, I uncovered as 22-year-old getting into the business, I uncovered a lot of people who were interested in buying a house that I would have never otherwise known. So just showing up, just being there led to opportunities. Then I learned how to convert and close, right? The whole 9 yards. So it is just like, just be there. If you don't know the answer, someone you know knows the answer, you can get the answer for them. But just be there. And I promise you, people in your world are going to raise their hand and say, I want you to help me. I like what you do. I want you to help me. Right. And that's
and then,
exciting.
Ryan, before we go, can you drop your IG? Can you come unmute, man? Ryan, I want to shout out Ryan. Ryan is super active in the comments, chatting, adding value. Like, right? Ryan, how can people follow you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, I'll put my Instagram in there and my Facebook and I'm on LinkedIn and Spotify, SoundCloud,
All the
yeah, yeah.
Follow him for some deep mixes, for some deep trance. All right. Thanks, Ryan. No, I love
Thanks,
it.
Ryan.
So, but I think that's the other thing I would just tell you is just show up. Show up in the spaces you are. Be all the way in. Like make an impression.
All right, y'all, let's do it. Let's go show up online today. Let's go talk to our folks. Thank you for sharing your energy with me.
Thanks. Another great session, guys.